Hello, dear listeners. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we delve into a story that proves some connections are simply unbreakable. A love so intense it defies the passage of time, and a passion so profound it burns brighter with every passing year. Prepare to be captivated by Time Changed Everything, Except Their Hearts, Forever Entwined. This is the story of Genevieve Johnson and Frederick Beaumont, two souls whose unbridled, intense love blossomed in the vibrant spring of their youth in Michigan. Their connection was undeniable, a palpable tension that hummed between them, promising a future intertwined. But youthful impulsiveness and a fierce pride led to a heartbreaking, definitive breakup, scattering their lives onto separate paths for decades. What happens when fate, after half a century, unexpectedly brings them face to face again? Can a love once lost to immaturity and regret reignite with an even more intense, uncontrollable passion, proving that some hearts are truly forever entwined? I invite you to settle in, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and please, share in the comments where you're listening from today. Genevieve and Frederick's inspiring journey is about to begin. At the heart of the Michigan summer in the late 1970s, pulsed an electricity that seemed to radiate directly from the intense and tumultuous love of Genevieve Johnson and Frederick Beaumont. Young and on the cusp of adulthood, they carried in their hearts a fervor that was as electrifying as it was frightening. It all began in a single moment, their eyes meeting across a crowded high school hallway, that initial spark transforming into a whirlwind. It was an irrational love, a force of nature that pulled them together with an overwhelming urgency, a feeling so total it consumed their very existences. Genevieve, with her fiery spirit and an independence that often bordered on stubbornness, found in Frederick a mirror to her own passionate soul. He was charismatic, with a restless energy, and a gaze that seemed to see right through her defenses. Their days were a whirlwind of shared secrets whispered under the vast Michigan sky. Long drives down winding country roads with the windows down and the radio blaring, and stolen moments that felt like entire lifetimes. Every touch, every lingering glance, every shared breath was charged with an unspoken electricity, a palpable tension that hummed between them, promising a depth of intimacy that was both thrilling and overwhelming. Frederick, in turn, was utterly captivated by Genevieve. Her laughter was a melody he carried in his heart, her fierce loyalty a comfort he hadn't known he craved. He saw in her a wildness that matched his own, a spirit that refused to be tamed. Their love was a beautiful, chaotic dance, a symphony of intense emotions that often soared to dizzying heights, only to plummet into the depths of youthful insecurity. They were inseparable, their lives entwined in a way that felt both natural and utterly essential. The world outside their bubble seemed to fade, their universe shrinking to encompass only the two of them, their intense, uncontrollable passion burning brightly, a testament to a love that felt both fragile and eternal. Yet, beneath the surface of their fervent affection, the seeds of immaturity began to sprout. Their love, though profound, lacked the steady hand of experience, the patience that comes with understanding. Small disagreements would escalate into dramatic arguments, fueled by pride and a fierce need to be right. Words once whispered with tenderness could turn sharp, cutting deep into the fragile trust they were building. The very intensity that drew them together also became their undoing, a double-edged sword that wounded as easily as it healed. The palpable tension that once hinted at intimacy now sometimes vibrated with frustration, a testament to a love that felt both fragile and eternal. One particularly heated evening, after a misunderstanding that spiraled out of control, a profound weariness settled over them. The argument, fueled by exhaustion and unspoken fears, reached a breaking point. In a moment of raw, impulsive pain, words were exchanged that neither truly meant, but both felt with a devastating clarity. "It's over," one declared, the phrase hanging heavy in the air, quickly echoed by the other. The finality of it, the abrupt severance of a bond that had felt unbreakable, was a shock to their systems. The intense, uncontrollable passion that had defined their existence suddenly felt like a burning ember, threatening to extinguish entirely. The immediate aftermath was a blur of raw emotion. Regret, sharp and agonizing, pierced through the haze of anger. They both knew, in the quiet corners of their hearts, that they had acted rashly, that the love they shared was too precious to simply discard. But pride, a stubborn, unyielding force, held them captive. Neither could bring themselves to reach out, to bridge the chasm they had so impulsively created. The silence that followed their breakup was deafening, a stark contrast to the constant hum of their intertwined lives. The palpable tension that once hinted at intimacy now vibrated with the pain of separation, a testament to a love that felt both fragile and eternal. Days turned into weeks, each one a testament to their stubborn resolve. Genevieve, heartbroken and bewildered, threw herself into her studies, her vibrant energy now channeled into a fierce determination to prove she was fine, that she didn't need him. Frederick, equally devastated, sought solace in solitude, his restless energy now a quiet torment. He drove aimlessly down the familiar Michigan roads, the landscapes that once held their shared laughter, now echoing with a profound emptiness. The intense, uncontrollable passion that had defined their existence now felt like a phantom limb, an aching presence that refused to be ignored. Then, life intervened with its relentless, unforgiving momentum. An unexpected opportunity arose for Frederick, a chance to leave Michigan, to pursue a dream far from the familiar streets that held so many memories of Genevieve. It was a decision made in the haze of heartbreak, a desperate attempt to escape the pain, to build a new future where the echoes of their love wouldn't haunt him. The thought of leaving, of truly severing the ties, was agonizing, but the pull of a new beginning, coupled with the stubborn pride that still festered, proved too strong to resist. Genevieve heard the news through the grapevine, a cruel twist of fate that solidified their separation. The possibility of reconciliation, a faint hope she had secretly harbored, vanished with the news of his departure. A new layer of hurt settled over her, a bitter understanding that their impulsive breakup had now become irrevocably permanent. The intense, uncontrollable passion that had once defined their existence now felt like a beautiful, tragic memory, a testament to a love that felt both fragile and eternal. The Michigan summer, once a vibrant canvas of their love, now held the bittersweet taste of a dream unfulfilled, a promise broken by the very fire that had forged it. The vibrant Michigan spring of the late 1970s, once a symbol of burgeoning life and the intense, uncontrollable passion shared by Genevieve Johnson and Frederick Beaumont, now held a bittersweet melancholy. The air, once thick with the scent of blossoming lilacs and the promise of endless days, now carried the quiet ache of their separation. Sebastian, bewildered by the disappearance of his heartfelt letter, found himself adrift in a sea of uncertainty. He searched his memory, replaying every moment, every interaction, trying to pinpoint where his confession might have gone astray. A quiet despair settled over him, a heavy cloak that muffled the once bright melody of his affection for Emma. He believed his courage had failed him, that his words had somehow been lost to the winds of chance, leaving his intense, poetic love unexpressed and unheard. The impulsive breakup, a raw wound in their young hearts, had left an indelible mark. Genevieve, though outwardly composed, carried a profound emptiness within her. The familiar streets of their Michigan town, once vibrant with their shared laughter and whispered dreams, now felt hollow, each corner echoing with the ghost of Frederick's presence. She saw him everywhere, in the way the sunlight filtered through the budding trees, in the distant sound of a car engine, in the fleeting scent of a familiar cologne. Her heart, still fiercely loyal despite the pain, ached with a longing she stubbornly refused to acknowledge. The intense, uncontrollable passion that had defined their existence now felt like a phantom limb, a constant throbbing reminder of what they had lost. Frederick, having left Michigan in the wake of their separation, found himself in a new city, a new life, but the ache in his heart remained. The change of scenery, the new challenges were a distraction, but never a cure. He pursued his dreams with a fierce determination, building a career, forging new connections, yet a part of him remained forever tethered to Genevieve, to the vibrant spring days they had shared, to the intense, uncontrollable passion that had consumed them. He would often find himself staring out of windows, watching the spring rain fall, his mind drifting back to her, to the way her hair caught the light, to the fierce sparkle in her eyes. The palpable tension that once hinted at intimacy now vibrated with the pain of separation, a testament to a love that felt both fragile and eternal. The pride that had fueled their impulsive breakup now acted as an impenetrable barrier. Both Genevieve and Frederick, though consumed by regret, found themselves unable to reach out. The fear of rejection, the lingering sting of past hurts, and the stubborn belief that the other should make the first move kept them locked in a silent standoff. They imagined each other moving on, finding happiness, and this thought, though painful, reinforced their resolve to remain distant. The love they shared, once an open book, was now a collection of unspoken words, of unread letters, of a future that had been impulsively discarded. As the seasons turned, the Michigan landscape transformed, but the memories of that spring remained vivid for Genevieve. She saw couples walking hand in hand, their laughter echoing through the parks, and a wistful sigh would escape her. She built a life, found companionship, and embraced new experiences. But the ghost of Frederick and the intense, uncontrollable passion they had shared remained a tender ache, a haunting melody in the depths of her soul. She learned to live with the absence, to find joy in other places, but a part of her heart remained forever entwined with his, a testament to a love that felt both fragile and eternal. Frederick, too, carried the weight of their past. He achieved success, built a family, and created a life that many would envy. Yet in the quiet moments, a profound sense of incompleteness would sometimes settle over him. He would see a fleeting image, hear a particular song, and his mind would instantly conjure Genevieve's face, her fiery spirit, the palpable tension that had always existed between them. He wondered about her life, about the woman she had become, about the love she had found. The intense, uncontrollable passion he had felt for her, though dormant, was never truly extinguished, a constant, subtle hum beneath the surface of his everyday existence. The years stretched into decades, weaving a complex tapestry of lives lived, experiences gained, and memories cherished. Genevieve and Frederick, though separated by time and circumstance, were unknowingly connected by the indelible mark of their youthful love. The pride and hurt, once sharp and immediate, had softened with age, transforming into a quiet melancholy, a profound understanding of the choices made and the paths diverged. They had both learned, through the trials and triumphs of life, the true cost of youthful impulsiveness, the lasting impact of words spoken in anger. The world around them transformed, but the human heart, with its timeless capacity for love and longing, remained unchanged. The intense, uncontrollable passion they had felt in their youth, though unexpressed for so long, remained a tender ache, a haunting melody of what might have been, a testament to a love that felt both fragile and eternal. They had both carried the memory of that spring, the lingering scent of lilacs, the electric energy of their connection, a silent promise that time, despite its relentless march, could never truly erase the profound bond that had once entwined their hearts. Decades had woven a rich, intricate tapestry of life for Genevieve Johnson and Frederick Beaumont, each thread a choice made, a path taken, a memory cherished. Yet, beneath the surface of their accomplished lives, an unseen thread, resilient and unbroken, still connected them to that vibrant Michigan spring, Genevieve, now in her late 60s, carried the grace of a woman who had navigated life's complexities with strength and dignity. Her career as a respected educator had flourished, her family brought immense joy, and her home was a sanctuary of warmth and laughter. Still, in the quiet moments, a familiar ache would sometimes surface, a ghost of a feeling, an echo of a love that had remained unfulfilled. The memory of Frederick, his restless energy, the palpable tension that had always hummed between them, lingered like a tender, almost sacred presence. She often found herself revisiting old haunts in her mind, the park where they shared whispered dreams, the winding country roads they drove, the scent of spring rain on budding leaves. She wondered about his life, about the man he had become, about the love he had found. The intense, uncontrollable passion they had shared, though dormant, was never truly extinguished. A constant, subtle hum beneath the surface of her everyday existence. She had learned to live with the uncertainty, to accept the path her life had taken. But the profound connection, the feeling of being utterly seen and understood by him, remained a tender ache, a testament to a love that felt both fragile and eternal. Frederick, now in his early 70s, bore the distinguished air of a man who had built an empire, his sharp mind and strategic vision having forged a highly successful career far from Michigan. He had achieved much, built a loving family, and found contentment in his accomplishments. Yet, like Genevieve, there were moments when the past would gently resurface. A particular piece of music, the sight of a spring blossom, or a fleeting memory would transport him back to her fiery spirit, and the intense, uncontrollable passion they had shared. A wistful sigh would escape him, a silent acknowledgement of the road not taken, the love that had remained unconsummated. He often wondered why they had let it slip away, why youthful pride had been so powerful. He remembered the palpable tension that had always existed between them, the unspoken desires that had charged every interaction. He had moved on, built a beautiful life. But the ghost of that first intense love, the poetic promise of a shared future, remained a tender, almost sacred memory, a testament to a love that felt both fragile and eternal. The thought of her, even after so many years, still evoked a subtle stirring, a recognition of a profound connection that time had failed to diminish. Their lives, though geographically distant, were unknowingly moving towards a convergence. Frederick, having recently retired, found himself with ample time and a gnawing desire for something more, a new purpose that resonated beyond the bottom line. He felt a pull back to Michigan, a nostalgic yearning for the landscapes of his youth, for the roots he had left behind. It was a subtle, almost subconscious draw, a feeling that something important awaited him there, a missing piece of his life's puzzle. The intense, uncontrollable passion he had felt for Genevieve, though dormant, was never truly extinguished, a constant, subtle hum beneath the surface of his everyday existence. Genevieve, too, was entering a new phase of life. Her children grown, her professional commitments easing, she found herself with more time for reflection, for revisiting old dreams. She often volunteered at local community events, finding joy in connection and purpose. It was at one such event, a spring festival celebrating local history in a small Michigan town, that fate began to weave its threads more tightly. She was helping organize a display of old photographs, images from the very era of her youth, when a familiar face, a ghost from her past, suddenly appeared in the crowd. Frederick, drawn by the nostalgic charm of the festival, wandered through the bustling stalls, his gaze sweeping over the familiar, yet changed, landscape. He felt a strange sense of anticipation, a feeling that something significant was about to happen. His eyes, accustomed to scanning architectural blueprints, now searched the faces in the crowd, a subconscious quest for something, or someone, he couldn't quite name. The air, filled with the scent of spring blossoms and distant music, suddenly seemed to hum with an unspoken energy, a palpable tension that hinted at a profound shift. Then, across the sun-drenched town square, amidst the laughter of children and the murmur of conversations, his eyes landed on her. Genevieve Johnson. Time had etched gentle lines around her eyes, silvered her hair, but her spirit, her vibrant essence, was unmistakable. His heart, which he thought had settled into a steady rhythm, suddenly pounded with an intensity that took his breath away. The decades melted away, replaced by the vivid memory of that Michigan spring, of their intense, uncontrollable passion, of the palpable tension that had always existed between them. He felt an undeniable pull, a magnetic force drawing him towards her, a testament to a love that felt both fragile and eternal. The moment Frederick Beaumont's eyes met Genevieve Johnson's across the bustling Michigan Spring Festival, time seemed to fold in on itself. Decades of separate lives, of unspoken longing, of carefully constructed emotional walls, crumbled in an instant. The air around them, already vibrant with the energy of the crowd, suddenly crackled with an undeniable, palpable tension, a silent recognition of a bond that had defied the relentless march of years. His heart, which he thought had learned to beat with a measured rhythm, now pounded with the same intense, uncontrollable passion he had felt in his youth. Genevieve, equally stunned, felt a jolt of electricity course through her. Frederick, older, distinguished, yet undeniably him. The sight of his familiar gaze, now softened by time but still holding that captivating intensity, brought a rush of memories. The scent of spring rain, the sound of his laughter, the fierce joy of their intertwined youth, the profound emptiness she had carried, a subtle ache beneath the surface of her contentment, suddenly found its source, its counterpart. The intense, uncontrollable passion she had believed long dormant, now flared with a breathtaking urgency, a testament to a love that felt both fragile and eternal. Their initial approach was hesitant, a dance of two souls navigating a landscape both familiar and profoundly changed. They moved towards each other through the crowd, their eyes locked, a silent conversation unfolding between them. There was no need for words. The depth of their connection, the weight of their shared past, spoke volumes. When they finally stood before each other, a comfortable silence settled, imbued with the bittersweet taste of regret and the exhilarating promise of a second chance. The palpable tension between them was almost a physical entity, a magnetic force that pulled them closer, a testament to a love that felt both fragile and eternal. They spoke of their lives, their families, the paths they had taken. Their voices, though calm, carried an undercurrent of profound emotion. Genevieve shared anecdotes of her career, the joys of her children and grandchildren, the quiet rhythms of her life. Frederick, in turn, spoke of his accomplishments, the challenges he had overcome, the unexpected solitude that had accompanied his retirement. Each story shared was a thread, weaving their individual narratives into a nascent, shared tapestry, revealing the wisdom gained, the scars healed, and the enduring imprint of their youthful love. The intense, uncontrollable passion they had felt, though dormant, was never truly extinguished, a constant, subtle hum beneath the surface of their everyday existence. Their conversations often drifted to the past, to that pivotal Michigan spring. They spoke of the arguments, the misunderstandings, the youthful pride that had driven them apart. There was no blame, only a shared understanding, a quiet acknowledgement of their immaturity and the profound regret for the years lost. In these moments of shared vulnerability, the emotional walls they had built over decades began to crumble, revealing the raw, tender hearts beneath. The palpable tension between them, once a source of youthful frustration, now vibrated with a mature understanding, a deep, unspoken longing for what might have been and what could still be. The physical longing, though unspoken, began to manifest in subtle ways. A lingering touch of hands over a shared photograph, a sustained gaze across a cafe table, the way their bodies instinctively leaned towards each other during a conversation. These small gestures, imbued with the weight of unspoken desires, became powerful affirmations of the intense, undeniable attraction that was growing between them. It was a yearning that transcended mere physical attraction. It was a deep, soul-level craving for the completeness they felt in each other's presence. Genevieve felt a fire rekindling within her, a powerful, almost youthful desire that made her heart race with an exhilarating fervor. The thought of his lips on hers, the warmth of his embrace, the sheer joy of being utterly, completely present with him again, consumed her thoughts. Frederick, too, felt an awakening. Genevieve's vibrant spirit, her keen intellect, and the genuine warmth of her presence filled a void he hadn't realized was so profound. He found himself captivated by her laughter, by the way her eyes sparkled when she spoke of her passions, by the comfortable silence they could share without needing to fill it with words. He recognized in her a kindred spirit, a soul that understood the complexities of life's journey, and a woman whose memory had never truly faded from his thoughts. The raw, visceral pull he had felt for her as a young man had matured into something even deeper, a consuming desire tempered by respect and a lifetime of longing. One evening, as they sat on a park bench overlooking a Michigan lake, the setting sun painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Frederick reached for Genevieve's hand. His thumb gently stroked her knuckles, a gesture that conveyed a lifetime of unspoken affection. Their eyes met, and in that shared gaze, the intense, uncontrollable passion that had defined their youth, now tempered by wisdom but burning brighter than ever, was undeniable. The palpable tension between them, once a source of youthful frustration, now vibrated with a mature understanding. A deep, unspoken longing for what might have been and what could still be. It was a moment suspended in time, a silent acknowledgement that their journey together was destined to move beyond mere reconnection, towards a love that promised to be as profound and inspiring as the fire that had first entwined their hearts. The silent acknowledgement that had passed between Genevieve Johnson and Frederick Beaumont on the park bench overlooking the Michigan lake was more than just a moment. It was a profound turning point. It was the quiet, yet powerful acceptance of a love that had defied expectation, a passion so intense it demanded a future. Their relationship, once a delicate dance of rekindled friendship and burgeoning understanding, now unfolded into a full, vibrant romance, rich with the wisdom of their years and the exhilarating freshness of a new beginning. They were no longer just two souls, reconnected by chance. They were two hearts, forever entwined, ready to weave a new tapestry of life together. Frederick, with a heart full of renewed purpose, began to spend more and more time in Michigan. His life, once centered far away, slowly began to reorient itself around Genevieve. He found immense joy in the simple routines of her life, sharing morning coffee on her porch, helping her tend to her blooming spring garden, or simply reading side by side in comfortable silence. Genevieve, in turn, reveled in his steady presence, the comforting rhythm of his footsteps in her home, the quiet strength he brought to her world. Her home, once a sanctuary of her own making, now felt complete, imbued with the warmth of their shared existence. The palpable tension that had always existed between them now manifested as a comforting closeness, a deep, unspoken intimacy that filled every shared space. Their love was a celebration of rediscovery. They explored Michigan with new eyes, finding hidden gems in old towns, revisiting familiar landmarks that now held new meaning when experienced together. They attended local concerts, visited art galleries, and embarked on spontaneous drives through the scenic countryside, each journey a testament to the vibrant life they were building. The laughter came easily, the conversations flowed endlessly, and the comfortable silences between them spoke volumes of a profound understanding. The intense, uncontrollable passion that had defined their youth now tempered by wisdom but burning brighter than ever, was undeniable. The intensity of their passion, far from diminishing with age, had only deepened, evolving into a profound and tender intimacy. It was a love that understood the nuances of a glance, the unspoken language of a touch, the comfort of a shared breath in the quiet hours of the night. Their physical connection was a beautiful symphony, a harmonious blend of tenderness, respect, and an undeniable, potent yearning that felt both familiar and utterly breathtaking. Genevieve found herself marveling at the vibrant resurgence of her own desire, a fire rekindled by Frederick's gentle devotion, a passion that made her heart race with an exhilarating, almost youthful fervor. The palpable tension that had once hinted at youthful frustration now vibrated with a mature understanding, a deep, unspoken longing for what might have been and what could still be. Frederick, too, felt a completeness he had only dreamed of. Genevieve's vibrant spirit, her keen intellect, and her unwavering presence filled his life with a light he hadn't known he was missing. He found in her a partner who understood the complexities of his past, who celebrated his present, and who looked towards a shared future with an open heart. Her love was a powerful affirmation, a testament to the enduring capacity of the human heart to heal, to open, and to love again with an intensity that felt both familiar and utterly breathtaking. He felt a profound sense of belonging that settled deep within his soul. The raw, visceral pull he had felt for her as a young man had matured into something even deeper, a consuming desire tempered by respect and a lifetime of longing. Their families, initially surprised by this unexpected romance in their golden years, slowly began to witness the profound happiness that radiated from Genevieve and Frederick. Their children, now adults with their own lives and families, saw a renewed spark in their parents' eyes, a joy that was undeniable. They observed the genuine affection, the mutual respect, and the deep connection that had blossomed between them. What began as curiosity evolved into acceptance, and then into a quiet celebration of this beautiful, inspiring second chance at love. Grandchildren, too, found delight in the new dynamic, enjoying the warmth and laughter that filled Genevieve's home whenever Frederick was there. Genevieve and Frederick spoke openly about their pasts, about the lessons learned, the heartbreaks endured, and the wisdom gained. They understood that their journey was unique, shaped by individual experiences, but their shared present was a testament to the enduring human need for connection. They found solace in each other's understanding, a profound comfort in knowing they had found someone who truly saw them, flaws and all, and loved them fiercely. The intense, uncontrollable passion that had defined their youth, now tempered by wisdom but burning brighter than ever, was undeniable. The palpable tension that had always existed between them now manifested as a comforting closeness, a deep, unspoken intimacy that filled every shared space. One evening, as they sat on Genevieve's porch swing, the gentle creak of the wood a soothing rhythm, Frederick turned to Genevieve, his kind eyes filled with a profound tenderness. He spoke of the emptiness he had felt before her, the quiet longing for a connection that felt truly complete. He spoke of how Genevieve had filled that void, not just with companionship, but with a love so intense, so overwhelming, that it had reshaped his world. He reached for her hand, his thumb gently stroking her knuckles, a gesture that conveyed a lifetime of devotion. Genevieve's heart swelled with an emotion so powerful it brought tears to her eyes. The intensity of his words, the depth of his gaze, the warmth of his touch. It was an overwhelming affirmation of a love that had truly knocked again, not just gently, but with a force that had swept away all her doubts and fears. She leaned her head on his shoulder, feeling the steady beat of his heart against hers, a rhythm that now felt perfectly aligned with her own. In that moment, as the last rays of sunlight faded from the Michigan sky and the first stars began to appear, Genevieve knew with a certainty that resonated deep within her soul. This was it. This was the second chance she had never dared to dream of, the profound, overwhelming passion that had found its way to her, even in her golden years. It was a love that was not just a comforting presence, but an exhilarating, heart-accelerating force, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit to love again, fiercely and completely, proving that even after a heart has been broken and rebuilt, it can still beat with an intensity that feels utterly, gloriously new. Genevieve Johnson and Frederick Beaumont's story is a powerful testament to the enduring, almost mystical nature of true love. Their intense, uncontrollable passion, once a youthful fire that burned too brightly, ultimately found its way back, tempered by wisdom, but blazing with an even deeper, more profound heat. Their journey, from impulsive heartbreak to a breathtaking reunion years later, reminds us that some connections are simply unbreakable, an unbreakable thread woven through the fabric of destiny. It proves that even after decades of separate lives, the heart retains an infinite capacity for renewal, for a passion so strong it feels like a second spring, a palpable tension that never truly fades. If Genevieve and Frederick's journey touched your heart, if it made you believe even more in the power of destiny and the beauty of a love reclaimed, please leave a like and share this video with someone who needs this message of hope. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe that true love, no matter how much time has passed or how many obstacles arise, will always find its way back home? Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more stories that remind us of the timeless beauty and complexity of the human heart. Thank you for being with us on this emotional journey.